These days, there has been a lot of talk about spot Bitcoin ETFs. It's understandable if you're feeling confused about the issue of cash creation versus the in-kind creation that remains a very important issue during the negotiation between the SEC and the spot Bitcoin ETF issuers. Hi, I'm Professor Chahyadi. When financial institutions want to create a new ETF at the primary market level, they will work with large banks and broker-dealers. These authorized participants, or APs, have a special ability to directly create or redeem ETF shares with the fund to help maintain the ETF share price in line with the value of the underlying assets. Let me explain it further. If the ETF share price is temporarily higher than the value of the underlying assets, APs can take advantage of this by buying the underlying assets and selling the ETF shares. Then they can make a profit from the price difference. On the other hand, if the ETF share price is temporarily lower than the value of the underlying assets, APs will buy the ETF shares and selling the underlying assets. They can continue to exploit this price difference until the ETF share price matches the value of the underlying assets. When it comes to Bitcoin ETFs, there are two ways that APs can use to create and redeem ETF shares. The first method is cash creation, where APs deposit cash into the fund, and the ETF manager uses that cash to buy Bitcoin and issue new ETF shares. The second method is in-kind creation, where APs deliver a basket of securities to the ETF manager in exchange for physical Bitcoin, and new ETF shares are issued to the APs. Both methods help manage the supply and demand of ETF shares. The main differences between cash creation and in-kind creation are as follows. First, cash creation adds new Bitcoin directly to the ETF's holdings, while in-kind creation simply reshuffles ownership within the ecosystem without necessarily increasing the total Bitcoin held by the fund. Second, cash creation can drive up the Bitcoin price due to increased buying activity, whereas in-kind creation has a more neutral impact on the market. Third, in-kind creation can be faster and cheaper for APs as it avoids the immediate sale of the basket for cash, which could incur additional costs such as bid-ask spreads, taxes, and broker commissions. Fourth, cash creation provides a clearer view of the ETF's actual Bitcoin holdings, while in-kind creation can make it more challenging to determine the exact amount of physical Bitcoin backing the shares. It's important to note that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has shown strong preference for the cash creation for spot Bitcoin ETFs. This is due to concerns about potential manipulation and lack of transparency associated with the in-kind creation. Understanding these differences allows investors to make informed decisions about which type of ETF that suits their needs and preferences. I hope my explanation helps you better understand the issue of cash creation versus the in-kind creation in spot Bitcoin ETFs. Stay tuned for my next video.